All right, Indiana gets the win, 82-59. Hoosiers go to Piscataway, and they get the W against a really, really bad Rutgers team. Wilkerson, good tonight. Dorn, good tonight. Tucker DeVries, good tonight. Indiana looked more active. I think part of that had to do with Rutgers being entirely inactive. Rutgers didn't look like they had any interest in playing basketball whatsoever tonight. And as a result, Indiana gets a W. I ain't arguing with winning at all. Never argue with winning, but holy hell. Like Indiana, IU is a team that will turn the ball over occasionally. They had one turnover in the first half. It's not like all of a sudden they figured out how not to turn the ball over. Rutgers was just stagnant tonight in a way where if I had paid for those tickets, if I were a Rutgers fan, my head would explode off the top of my neck. All right. I would be in hysterics right now, ranting and raving about what a horseshit effort that was by Rutgers. But this is not about Rutgers. This is about Indiana. And Indiana needed to win. Indiana had lost 4 straight where they had looked a little inactive, a little bit stagnant, a little bit like a team that wasn't enjoying playing basketball too much. So, you know what? Again, no apologies for beating the hell out of Rutgers. It was really nice, wasn't it, to be a part of a game, watch a game where Indiana suddenly was the team playing well enough that there was no drama. That was nice. I kind of enjoyed that. That doesn't happen every single day, right? Hey, I told my girlfriend about what you said about him paying a cameraman, and he was pissed. Look it up, his live stream last night. I'm not going to watch Michael Irvin's live stream, but thanks for the love. I appreciate it. Right on, IU basketball, 12 is a star. That's Tucker DeVries. And Tucker DeVries was pretty good tonight, and he looked really, really active tonight, and that was good. I think this is the best game he's played this year. He had 22 points tonight. Nick Dorn had 23. Lamar Wilkerson with 27. Those guys combined to hit 15 threes in 33 attempts. Indiana, 15 of 35 from beyond the arc. From the field goals, they were 50%, 30 of 60, and then 100% from the line. They went to the line 7 times. They didn't go to the line a lot because Rutgers wasn't interested enough in playing defense to foul. So, like, if you're willing just to let guys do what they want, they're going to hit shots and they're going to beat you. And Indiana did tonight, 82-59. Rutgers, you know what? Tariq Francis, we talked about before the game. I'm not entirely sure why he doesn't start, but hey, Steve Peichel got to be Steve Peichel, right? He had 28 points in 28 minutes. He had a pretty good night, and nobody else for Rutgers scored in double figures. You had a couple with 8. Like this was a one-man barrage. This was like Steve Carlton pitching for the 1972 Philadelphia Phillies, where the team won 54 games and Carlton won 27 of them. That's how good Steve Carlton was that year. The bench for Indiana had 6 points. They all came from Tatum Conaway. Tatum Conaway can get the point or get the corner on guys. And that's helpful, trying to get to the basket and score points. Sam Alexis, he had 4 tonight, and that was kind of nice to see. Connor Enright didn't have a point. He did some strange things tonight. But this is a positive night, so we're not gonna crap all over Connor Enright, the Mundelein Flash. He was out there tonight, committed 3 fouls. Nobody with 4 fouls tonight for Indiana. So this was kind of interesting. This is a rare moment. Nobody fouled out. Nobody even picked up a 4th foul. If we can hit shots, we're a pretty recent or decent team. But these lapses are killing us. Well, those lapses come in direct proportion to the aggression of the defense. If the defense is really getting out after you and making it tough to execute what you want to execute, Indiana has a tough time. That's the point of playing defense, right? They're going to see a different challenge entirely on Tuesday night when Purdue comes to Assembly Hall. It's going to be a different different vibe, and it's gonna be a little bit different for them. But let's enjoy tonight. This was a nice night, Friday night early. It's still not 8 o'clock yet. This game was done in about an hour 45. And you old heads will remember when college basketball was transacted in about an hour and a half to an hour and 40 minutes. And it was awesome. Like everybody's trying to make games last a little bit longer because you sell more concessions. People in the arena spend more money than people outside the arena. And so you try to keep them in the arena as long as you can. You want to fill that 2-hour hole for college basketball. And more often than not, it goes like 2:15, right? This was 1:45, and I loved it. But that's because nobody committed a foul. There were very few turnovers. Indiana finished this game with 5 turnovers. That doesn't happen very often. I don't mean to laugh, but it was glorious. 40 rebounds for Indiana, and Rutgers had 27. I'm not entirely sure because Rutgers hit 36% from the field, 26 from beyond the arc. I'm not sure how this game was 23 points instead of like 60. Indiana was so much better tonight than Rutgers. Nice to have a flight home where you're not sweating it and you're not thinking, my God, can we beat a bad team? We know now that Indiana can beat a bad Big Ten team, and they are not a bad Big Ten team. They're a mediocre Big Ten team, but that's okay. It's better than what they could have been. The black jerseys, look, I know you won by 23 at Rutgers. I'm not having the black jerseys. Indiana's got to look like Indiana. This isn't some kind of outfit where we got to have, the hometown jerseys, the city edition jerseys. This isn't an NBA thing where Indiana's trying to sell jerseys for the love of crap. We had 3-point shooters tonight. Let's go. Yeah, we did. Yeah, you go, those guys went, what'd I say, 15? They hit 15 of 33. That works. That's a good percentage. That's nice. Indiana is not Oregon, please. I'm not sure what that means. Indiana is not Oregon. That is accurate. Indiana making the tournament, Kent. What tournament? They could make the NIT. I think they could do that. I don't think they're going to make the NCAA tournament. That seems a long shot. They got to come together, figure out how to play together, figure out how to move with enough alacrity that they can create openings for themselves when they play a team that really defends well. That's what's got to happen. But it was nice to see tonight that they hit shots, and that's a good thing. Hit open shots. Tucker DeVries hit some tough shots. That's good to see. If DeVries can hit shots, and Wilkerson is hitting shots, and Dorn hits corner threes, then this becomes a different team. But you've got to be able to run your offense with enough efficiency to be able to get guys open, get off open shots, and knock them down regularly, right? They have no interior game whatsoever. Like you saw Sam Alexis. Sam Alexis, with just a bunny layup, blew it, grabbed it off the rim, and then tried to lay it in again, and it wound up getting cradled in the crook between the rim and the glass. I mean, that's not good. And then, we've had our conversations about Reed Bailey. Trent Sisley, I think, is going through some troubling times. I don't know what's going on with Trent Sisley, but not playing great basketball in the 4 minutes he was out on the court. I think he's going to be okay. I hope he sticks it out. I'd hate to see him transfer. I don't want to see that. You always worry about guys entering the portal. And I don't want to see that with Sisley. I think he's going to be a really good Indiana player. I think he can play. I just think he's having trouble finding his fit on this team, and that's kind of the way it goes. Anybody else with Josiah Miles? He's all right. In 11, he didn't score a point, didn't get a bucket, but he had a couple of boards, and that's good. One of them offensive. He doesn't bother me. I don't know what he gives you, but, that's okay. Anyone going to watch Pacers Thunder? Yeah, no. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll wind up watching it. I'm not sure. That's life. we could prepare for Snowmageddon, which is beginning about 24 hours from now, right? Going to get somewhere between 8 and 12 inches of snow. That's just fun. People always overreact to that kind of thing. It's all okay. 12 inches of snow is Tuesday in Michigan, and they live through it great, and they have a good time with it. We get 12 inches here, and people go to the grocery store and buy all the eggs, bread, and milk like Kroger is going to close, or we won't be able to get there for 6 weeks. That's crazy. Let's not do that. Take what you need, buy what you need, and go home. You don't need to hoard food and milk and eggs. The hell's the matter with you? Stop that. It's ridiculous. Now, I will say this, that if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, and you're going to have a major ice storm, which people think they will, then I don't think you go out and buy a bunch of stuff, but you make alternate arrangements, because if you're without power for days and it's really cold, that's a life-altering incident, right? That's a circumstance that you need to have a plan B for. But to be in central Indiana and think, oh my God, I've got to buy 6 gallons of milk, like you've got to seek help and get some kind of analysis. You got to figure out what's going on up here that causes you to do that kind of thing, because it doesn't make any sense. What's wrong with you? Indiana gets a win tonight, 82-59. We'll be back. We'll have the members only chat, which we do every single Saturday morning at about 9. We don't do it straight up at the ass crack of 9, but we get up and we're there 8:57, 9:06, somewhere in that area, and we talk about sports. We have a very good time. So join us if you're a member. If you're not a member, hey, you know what? Become a member and join us. You're getting my weather, Kent, BC, Canada, British Columbia, man. But you guys, and tell me if I'm wrong, you guys know what to do. You guys know how to adjust your lives. And you guys know how to enjoy winter. When I lived in Michigan, when I was a kid, we had the best time ever in winter. A great time. Had snowball fights at recess and lunch every single day. It was wonderful. Winter Wonderland, Michigan, absolutely. The lake effect snow on the western shore of Michigan, fantastic. Wonderful. Had a great time. Friends had come on their snowmobiles, knock on the door, you're like, who's this? Hey, it's the Voss kids. It's Tommy and Todd Voss. This is awesome. And Timmy. Tim was in my class. Tim was a great dude. Lives in Lexington, Kentucky. Took their snowmobiles, came to the house, hung out for a little bit. Mom made them some cocoa. They got on their snowmobiles, off they went. I loved it. I liked winter better than I liked summer. And I loved the summer. So, but we'll talk to you tomorrow morning when we get together as members. So become a member. Hit the subscribe button. When we get to 25,000 subscribers, and we're about 350 away from that, major prize. I don't know what it is, but we're going to do something fun, and we're gonna have absolutely stunning, beautiful in BC. I got to get there. It's 40 below in Mason City, Iowa. Good Lord. That's too cold. When pipes start freezing and bursting, that's where I draw the line. You answered, I'll become a member now, sir. Everyone have fun this weekend. Absolutely, let's go. And here's another thing about being a member. Like, there are a lot of times when the pacing of the comments, sometimes when we've got a lot of people watching, is kind of hard to keep track of. And so with the members, I see that they're either blue because they're a moderator or green because they're a member. I think that's the way it works. And we had some jackass from Jacksonville who was giving us crap. And I don't mind getting crap, but he was doing it over and over and over. It was like copy, paste, post, copy, paste, post, copy, paste, post. And so he was just filling up the comments with his own inanity, and I wasn't having it. So we needed guys to become moderators. What's the name of the store in Bloomington where you got the championship gear from? Went to Alumni Hall, went to Trax, went to the place on the corner where the spaceport used to be, at like Dunn and, is it Dunn? I think it's Dunn. It might be Indiana. And Kirkwood on that southwest corner. They got a lot of swag stores down there. The championship celebration is going to be held as scheduled tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And they're doing that outdoors. I know it's going to be cold, but it makes sense. Like, you're going to have people there and have them gone. If you're holding it in Assembly Hall, you would have lines outside Assembly Hall right now. And this is weather not fit for man nor beast. It's too cold to do that. And you got kids, they don't know the difference. They don't know how to dress for the cold. They're wearing shorts. They got T-shirts on, no gloves, no mittens, no boots, no galoshes. What are they doing? They'd be out there right now, freezing their ass off, suffering from hypothermia, and having to be administered to. We don't need that kind of headache. Scott Dolson doesn't need people out there freezing, getting frostbite. What he wants is a nice celebration. So you open up Memorial Stadium, whoop, everybody comes in. At the end of this thing, it's going to last 20 to 30 minutes. Whoop, everybody out, go about your business. Much, much safer. Good. Scott Dolson does things that make sense. On the surface, you say, what? But when you dig into it, makes all kinds of sense. So go get a Coach's Bowl, a Coach Signetti Bowl at Chipotle. Go get yourself a Hoosier Lager from Upland Brewery. Go get yourself whatever these cats are selling, right? And they're selling a lot of stuff. God bless them. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning at 9. Go Hoosiers.